Listen, righteousness is part of the human mental makeup. People need to feel righteous. So I respect those who feel righteous. They believe in something and they live accordingly. I have no opinion about it. There's a deeper reality that is my interest and this is what I serve. This is right, this is wrong. Is it? There's always a deeper understanding, and when you have a deeper understanding, you see it from a bigger level, and then you let go because there's an intelligence to things. Right? But people don't like this. They want to believe and hold on to their ideas. I've always find it ironic. So you're a professional athlete, for example. The professional athlete has all the opportunities because he's in a system, which is, let's say, the NBA, which is organized by a group of people who have enough intelligence to organize a system and organize an entire universe so that you can play into. And that system operates in the grander scheme, in the grander system. And that grander system, that the sport association solves a problem for the grander system, which is entertainment, and to divert people's attention from their everyday hard lives and to appease and palliate their anguish so that they can have something enjoyable. Great. So it's a system. And now here you are entering that system and you want the richness, you want to play. You want the money, you want the attention that comes via the system, but then you don't want to respect the system and the greater system in which it operates, because apparently that makes you a slave. Come on. And then you want to complain on how the system was constructed. If you really want to study how the system was constructed, it has been under construction for thousands of years. Not the past 400 years, thousands upon thousands of years. It all depends on a certain kind of mind that establishes itself in people. We've spoken about this before. It goes really deep. So there's a form of hypocrisy because you're ignorant. You're not really seeing the big picture, and you just want to see what works for you. So musicians get hustled. Yeah, fine. I'm willing to accept that. But the system, which allows the musician, there's 100,000 musicians, they're all doing the same thing, more or less. So they chose you. They could have chosen that person. Or they could have chosen that person. Was your stuff so amazing, really? In rare exceptional cases, it really is. Otherwise, so many people are talented. This system selected you and decided to now circulate you so that you're available for everybody else to consume. Well, it's done all the work. Without it, you're just another person that nobody knows. And then you want to get upset at the system that has given you your life, literally, because you are apparently so special. Well, are you really? Now, I don't want to remove the talent nature has given you, but the only reason you're a so-called star is because the grid, the network, chose and selected you. So they're controlling who gets to be known or not. Well, why are you upset about that? That's how it's designed. If you're not happy, don't sign the contract. Well, how am I going to be famous? Well, fame is controlled by those who've created the network in cahoots with the bigger system and the financial system. It's like it's a thing. It's a game. Why are you upset? If you're not happy, do it on your own. And today's modern world allows you to do it on your own. Yeah, but I want that. Well, I want to be in the NBA, for example. Well, but you don't get to be in the NBA and be part of that system unless you oblige to the rules that we've established. Because why should we? Well, I'm amazing. And this is where it gets interesting, because at the highest levels, the athletes or the musician get to become they're really good. I'm like, I'm amazing. So what are you going to do without me? We'll delete you. But we don't want to delete you because you're very good at entertaining people. So where can we find some kind of compromise? But apparently now, because you're so amazing, you've become intoxicated with your own skill set. Yeah, but your skill set, we can just delete it. Nobody's going to remember you tomorrow. So we're trying to find a place where we can compromise and make it work for everybody. But why is it that you don't respect the system? Again, I always speak about this. Respect of powers. People don't respect powers. Can I respect myself within this? I'm pretty sure that you can respect yourself to a certain degree, because at the end of the day, you're there to entertain people who are slaves of the system. So you're an entertainer, there to dull people's minds. So now you want to go there and pretend that you want to awaken people to the truth, using the system itself against itself. Get the fuck out of here. That's confusion. That's like self-delusion. You yourself are confused, because everything that you have is because the system gave it to you. And here you are thinking that you are now going to awaken people to the truth using the system against itself. If I were you, I would re-question the truth I believe in, because it's probably a delusion, because you're obviously deluded, because you don't seem to understand that you are a pawn in a system. And here you are thinking that you can be quote unquote independent. Well, if you want to be independent, go over there. Go ahead. Then nobody's going to know your name. If you want to know your name, that means I want somebody to know my name. That lust and ego, I want somebody to know my name. Well, they decide, they allow people to know your name. So why don't you respect them? No, because I want to help people. I'm like, well, if you really want to help people, why are you so obsessed with people knowing your name? Anyways, I don't know if you'll be able to follow me. I'm making sense to myself. This is a complex subject. Again, so you step back, you look at this circus show, and what do you see? People who are all looking for who I am. What's my value? What makes me different? What do I belong to? What's my purpose? There has to be more to my life than making a song or playing a sport. And something that's connected to divinity, meaning a greater story than the next 100 years or 200 years. So you see it. That's what people are looking for. Are they finding it? Yeah. Who am I to judge? But in my opinion, obviously not. Otherwise, why would you waste your time doing all of this? You don't respect the structures. You want the structures. I got a friend of mine, she's a doctor. So she goes to medical school, and she wants medical school to be not medical school. She wants medical school to teach the truth about health, healing, the body, how she would say the truth, right? Well, but that's the medical system. The medical system's job is not to help you heal. It's there to numb you, cut you up, give you medication so that you can go back and continue to be a good zombie. That's what its function is. It's not my fault that you want to believe the lie that they told you that this is a doctor that heals you. It doesn't heal you. But once you understand that, you're at peace with that, you're not interested. Well, okay, their job is not to heal you. Their job is to make sure you can continue tomorrow and change nothing about your life and take no responsibility for any of your actions. That's what they offer. Well, they're awesome at that. Once you see that clearly, because you're not in delusion, you see how amazing they are. Nobody on earth can ever be as good at that. They're the best. So what now makes you that you want to go there? You want to be called a doctor. You want the title. You want the name. You want all that comes with it. And the money that come with it. Because you're special. That they're giving that to you. And then you want them to change. Well, that's ridiculous. You went to them. They accepted you because you have a certain skill set that fits in their... you fit the profile that they're looking for. And now you want them to change and become something they're not because you live in a delusion. And you want to impose on them, apparently, the truth. Well, how about you look at the real truth? That's what I'm trying to say. It's a bigger picture. Humanity is made of zombies for whatever reason, and we've covered this multiple times before, and they are the specialists at keeping the zombie going. And they have decided to take the word and say it's called a medical doctor. Now, that's word hacking, and we can have a conversation about that. Is it correct or incorrect? I don't give a fuck. They're entitled to do whatever they want. So they decided to call that medical doctor and created a mafia that said anybody else wants to use that word, they're going to go to hell. We own that word. Fine. But what do we do? We make sure that the zombie keeps going tomorrow. That's what they do. Well, once you're clear about that, what's the issue? There's no issue. Why you want to go make them be something else? If you want something else, you can go do something else over there. Yeah, but I want the perks, the titles, and the power that they offer while I do something else. No. You don't respect the grid. You're not respecting the system. Why are you doing that? And then you're going to have to fight. But this is not true. No, there's a word hack. I agree. Okay? But everything else is true. Their job is, you need eyes to see. Their job is to make sure the zombie keeps on going. That's it. And they work, of course, in cahoots with a greater scheme that you can also see if you have eyes to see, and you're like, okay, well, where do I fit in there? I'm navigating, and you have to learn how to navigate through this properly and avoid unnecessary friction. And it's like walking in the middle of the jungle. You really want to get lost in the wrong part of town? No. Right? You want to go argue with a person who thinks blue is God, that red is God? You want to be that person? You want to be dumb? Or you want to be able to be like pliable? And of course, everybody's going to fight for their thing. So at the end of the day, what do we see? Human beings who have no sense of identity, who are trying to gain or acquire power within a system. Yeah, but I told you, the system is organized by a mind. The moment you enter into that system, in order to have access to power, you're a subject of that mind. And that's not real power. It's a form of power, it's temporal power, but it's not real power. And it's not the power you're looking for that's going to satisfy you and offer you the security and safety you're really looking for. So I have nothing against that power, but that power is organized. You may not like the fact that it's organized or the way it's organized, but I promise you, if the situation was different, it would be you, quote unquote, on top, and you would do the same thing they're doing. And you're certainly not the first person in the world who says, no, if we reorganize this, then it would be peace on earth, because we'd distribute the power equally amongst the people. Bullshit, it's a lie. Another lie, everybody says that, and it's always the same, because we live at the foundation, people are scarce, there's a scarcity of energy. And that's caused by primary religion that is spoken to you beautifully in the Genesis, in the book of Genesis. There's a fundamental problem which is giving birth to this entire system. And the fundamental problem is that there's a scarcity of energy, and that grid is in order to be able to create and sustain a certain level of energy, and those at the top get, quote unquote, the most amount of energy, and those at the bottom get the least. So the people at the bottom are trying to go to the top because they're in scarcity of energy, or try to be in a position where they have the most amount of energy. So maybe there's a motion amongst those people, but the issue, the very cause of this system is scarcity. So as long as we don't resolve the actual issue, which is the primary lesion, this system is just going to change. It will never change shapes. It'll always be like this. But maybe there's like a few people that change here and there. Let's fight, but the system is always under the same jurisdiction. And it's an ignorance of this that makes it that people want to fight for narratives. We want to change this, whatever. So now instead of having this flag, we have that flag. Congratulations, the mind hasn't changed. The core of the issue hasn't changed. Now, I really genuinely sympathize with people within the structure who think that they can achieve freedom within that structure. But then again, it shows an ignorance. It's like, brother, with all due respect, the disease comes from a deeper place. And the system that you have vilified is a symptom and is a survival mechanism. Maybe some of you will understand, maybe not.